everyone and Happy New Year! I am here today with my 2022 goals video. I love doing these videos. They're among my favorite videos to record because I really do love talking about what I'm setting out to achieve for the upcoming year. And I can also come back to this video during the year to give myself a little reminder of what I wanted to achieve and the reasons why. In the past several years, I've really honed in on a method of goal setting that works very well for me. The first thing I do is I set an annual theme for the year. This is something that I want to work on throughout the year that I really want to start embodying and just taking internally so that it becomes second nature. My theme for 2022 is all about letting go with the intention of developing more inner peace and equanimity. That feels so good to me, and it is something that I started working on last year as well, towards the latter half of the year especially. I started really focusing on releasing and letting go of these worry and anxiety inducing thoughts and feelings that I had, and it started making a pretty big impact on my mindset. For the last couple months of the year, I was still feeling a lot of urgency and a lot of stress when someone would ask me to do something, even little things. So I started playing with the mantra, "You have plenty of time." I put it on my little letter board and I looked at it every day. Every time I looked at the board, I would see this mantra, and it actually really helped. I have seen opinions out there that mantras don't help, but in my experience, they have helped me and I will continue to use them. I think the key is to switch them up though, so that they don't become background noise. I wrote about my annual theme in detail on my website, so if you'd like to read more, I will leave the link down below. Now, besides my annual theme, I also set a bunch of goals that I'd like to work on throughout the year. And these goals are pretty much whatever comes into my head, my main focus for the year, as well as anything fun or creative that I want to test out or try out. I try to always set these goals in accordance with the SMART criteria, so specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And again, I have a write-up of all of these criteria on my website. I set 8 goals for 2022, the first one being my main focus. Some of you may know that I've been working on a book for a few years now, and it's in a really good place. I would say I'm probably more than halfway through. It's basically a collection of self-reflection exercises, and in 2021, I spent the entire year developing these exercises and testing them on myself. In 2022, I'm going to finish writing the introduction to each of the chapters of self-development exercises, as well as the introduction for the book. I also want to finish testing out any exercises that I've added to the book, as well as look at the existing exercises with a really kind of like detailed eye and remove any that I don't feel really contribute to the book as a whole. That is my main priority for 2022, and I'm going to be trying to let go of a lot of different things that don't really serve me, a lot of distractions and side projects. Of course, I am always going to have side interests and side projects, but I'm going to try to set them aside and let go of the urgency that I feel that I have to do these things right away, so I can focus on my main creative project, which is this book. My second goal is to record a video diary entry of my book progress once a week. So this is something I really wanted to do because the first year and a half, 2 years of writing my book went by so quickly. I didn't document my progress much aside from talking about it very briefly in some vlogs. So this year I want to be more systematic about it, capturing the ups and downs of what it's like to go through a big project like this. My third goal is to record 1 second of video every day for at least a month. This was a creative project that my friend had actually proposed to me or suggested to me. She was going to do it in 2020 or perhaps 2021, and she invited me to do the same, but I just kept forgetting. This year I am going to give it a go. It is January 11th when I'm recording this video, and so far I have 11 clips for the first 11 days of January. For this goal, if I like the outcome of having these 1 second video clips, I may extend it for longer, perhaps even for the entire year. My fourth goal is to complete my daily reflection practice. I started a different sort of gratitude journal in 2021. What I did was I wrote down a significant remembrance at the end of every day, and that actually worked out so well for me. So I'm going to continue that practice in 2022. The specific question that I'm going to ask myself is, what do you want to remember from today, and what are you excited to work on tomorrow? Training your mind on one particular question or one particular idea for the entire year. From past experience, it has worked for me. It just depends on asking the right question and focusing on the right thing. The second part of the question, what are you excited to work on tomorrow? It's something that I'm very intentionally trying to do in terms of healing my relationship with paid work. I realized when I was writing my book that I have a very messed up relationship with paid work. I just associate a lot of negativity with paid work, but at the same time, I can't help but prioritize my paid work. And maybe that's part of the negative association, is because I put my creative projects second, and so I start to resent my paid work. So that's something that I'm still trying to think through and work through. I added the second part of my reflection question for a couple of reasons. The first is I want to broaden and expand my definition of work to not just paid work, but also the creative work that I do, my housework, my planning and organization. Work can also mean schoolwork if you're taking classes. It can mean taking care of your children or your pets. I just really want to broaden the scope of work in my mind so that it includes things other than work that I do for money. So that's one reason I want to ask myself about work every day. The second reason is that I want to allow myself to be excited about paid work, because there are tasks that I really enjoy doing in both of my part-time jobs. So I want to look ahead at work that I'm excited about, both paid and personal. In that way, I'm hoping to transform my relationship with work in 2022. My fifth goal is to try digital planning for my 2022 calendars. I have tried this in the past and I failed miserably. I think it was the system I was using. I was just using the calendar on my iPhone. I was missing appointments and forgetting things, and it was just a system that completely failed. So I went back to a paper planning system, but I am now ready to try digital planning once again. The reason being that I found this new to me program called TickTick, and I started using it for my to-do lists, but it also integrates Google Calendars. I started using TickTick in September or October of 2021, and I've since phased out my paper calendar towards the end of the year once I had gotten in the groove for a month or two. But now I do not have a paper calendar anymore. I do everything digitally. So fingers crossed, it works out well. So far so good, and I'm really excited about this new system. My sixth goal is to meet my annual expense target, and this is pretty much the exact same goal as last year, even down to the number that I set for my expenses. I think I will have no trouble with this goal because I ended up pretty significantly under budget last year, and I don't expect much will change this year. My seventh goal is to log my cycle-related symptoms for at least 3 months. These are menstrual symptoms, and I get a lot of different ones. I have a wide variety of cycle-related symptoms, so I thought I would track them and see if I can come up with a strategy for when they occur, because they can be pretty bad, especially my physical symptoms. My mood-related symptoms actually aren't too bad anymore. I still feel the mood ups and downs, but because I've been working so hard on letting go of emotional attachments, I actually don't feel too bad when the mood-related symptoms come on. I notice it and I just try to feel the mood and let it go. So that has been working out pretty well, but the physical symptoms are kicking my butt. I get a whole range of different symptoms. The worst one is probably headaches. I get a headache that lasts for like 2 days, and it's really quite debilitating. I just don't want to do anything when I have the headache. It pounds and it hurts a lot. So sometimes Tylenol helps, but sometimes it doesn't. But I'm just interested and curious as to when the headaches come and whether I can plan for them, maybe not book meetings those days. What actually initiated this wanting to track my cycle-related symptoms? My friend sent me a Reddit thread on menstrual cycle-related skincare, and I was fascinated by it. I just thought it made a lot of sense, and I wanted to try something like that in my own skincare regimen. But when I went to track my cycle related symptoms, because that's kind of like the first step, I tried 4 or 5 different apps and I didn't like any of them. So now I am going to be tracking my symptoms on a spreadsheet. It's just a Google sheet that I put together with the items that I'm interested in tracking. Super simple and very customizable to my own situation and to my own symptoms. Something I'm gonna try for 3 months, kind of as like a pilot project. And if I like it and if I want more data, I will continue it for the rest of the year. My 8th and final goal is to have no processed junk food after dinner. And this one is something that I came up with during Vlogmas. Because we have so much processed junk food at home over the holidays and I love that stuff, I really wanted to put like a time limitation on when I eat the processed junk food, because otherwise that's all I would eat and I wouldn't have the appetite to have like some fruit or some yogurt. So now I still eat processed junk food, of course, but I usually eat it at lunchtime with my first meal. So I will have whatever I'm having for my first meal, and then I will have like a few snackies and things that are like processed junk food, and then I'll have my dinner in the evening, and after dinner I will just have like some fruit, usually a fruit and yogurt bowl. I haven't gotten tired of that yet, but when I do, I can have like chia seed pudding, or maybe I can have just fruit or just yogurt. I could have some dried fruit and nuts, something along those lines that's not processed junk food. It's a little bit more nutritious. It'll still be filling, so I'm not intending to cut down on calories. It's more about taking in more nutrition. So that is it for my 2022 goals. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in how I do on these goals, I always do like a little recap on my website, and as well I try to do a recap in my vlogs. So I will link all of that stuff down below. If you set goals, I would love to hear about what some of yours are for this year. Thank you again for watching, and I will be back very soon with another video. Until then, please take care and bye for now.